Okay, welcome back to our Dhamma discussion. Let us homage to the Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Homage to the blessed one, worthy one and fully enlightened one. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, we are going to learn today very, very profound teaching we have in the Tipitaka. Mm, This, the few of them, not a few actually, many of them, but these two suttas are very important, very interesting. Uh, there are two monks called Channa, and the same name but two different monks. You know, one is very famous in a Buddhist world, Channa. He is the Siddhartha, you know, Siddhartha, his horseman. When the Siddhartha renounced the palace, and Siddhartha took that horseman. His name is Channa because the Siddhartha left the palace with that horseman. He is his personal Siddhartha's personal uh, horseman. Actually, he's a friend actually. Siddhartha's friend, a very close friend, like a personal driver, right? Who? What do you think about your personal driver? you don't.
I don't have one.
You don't like it. Peter doesn't like him. But no, but he will be your very close, very, he knows your all secrets and you know all your personal things, and he's involving with you all everything in your life. For especially as the presidents, all the ministers has the very trustworthy person for his personal driver. So then the Siddhartha's the personal driver is the kind of the Channa. Then Siddhartha took him when he's renounced. The many Buddhist world believe the Siddhartha left at night in secretly. But in the Pariyeshana Sutta and the Siddhartha left in the daytime and when everybody crying and when everybody asking don't leave and Siddhartha left the palace, not in the secret or at night, and he left in the daytime when everybody crying. Uh, but with Channa. So then he returned. Then all his royal, royal uh, ornaments, royal all items he wear, and he returned them all. The Channa took them back to the palace. Then Siddhartha attained to Buddhahood. Um, then after for a while, the Channa ordained as a bhikkhu, as a monk. But he was very stubborn. He didn't care about all other monks. Now Buddha have so many monks around him, right-handed, left-handed, foremost this, foremost that. Everybody respecting and care. But I am the person left with Siddhartha. So he had a pride himself. He didn't listen to any elder monks, and he didn't care, and he was jealous about all other monks. Um, then he didn't achieve any specific attainment. So Buddha advised, but he didn't care. He didn't listen to even to the Buddha. Then finally, when Buddha's passing away, before Buddha's passing away, and Buddha addressed monks and asked monks to punish the Channa after my passing away. Until I am living, don't do that. When I gone, then punish the Channa called Brahma Danda, the Brahma punishment. What's the Brahma punishment? And giving him up. Don't talk to him, never giving a smiling, never advising, no instructions, never dealing with him, no, and this is considered like his soul gone, as like a dead person. And after Buddha's passing away, monks gathered and then the told to the Channa in the old group of monks, now we are going to punish you according to Buddha's advice. So we're going to give you the Brahmadanda. Then he shocked and he painted, and monk left him, and then he was alone himself for a while. And finally, when he done that punishment finished, and he went to all the other monks because he learned something. The Buddha punished him, and all bhikkhus punished him. He didn't talk, never smiled, not dealing, not associating, and let him ignore him. And he learned then he can't be that kind of pride. So then he was humble. So he went to the old other monks and asked them to teach. But they teach me something, and he went to monk, and begged them to teach him something to learn. Then those old monks said, yes, then um, form my impermanent feeling, I impermanent perception, I impermanent volitions, I impermanent consciousness is impermanent, and the form is non-self, feelings are non-self, perceptions are non-self, volitions are non-self, consciousness is non-self. But they didn't say about suffering, dukkha. They didn't say form is dukkha, feeling is dukkha, because they afraid to say that the Chan is arguing. And they said all five aggregates are impermanent and non-self. And every monk said that. Then he was thinking, yes, I know forms are impermanent, feelings are impermanent, perception are impermanent, volition and consciousness are impermanent. I know that. But but why I am still with fetters, still with ordinary person? I know them are impermanent and non-self. But why I am not still freed from the attachment? He was thinking. He was worried about that. All the monk says forms are impermanent, feeling, perception, volitions, consciousness, rupa, vedana, sanya, sankhara, vijnana. These five aggregates are impermanent and non-self. Yes, I know. I know. You know, right? I know too. But we have the same problem with Channa had, right? We all know these are impermanent and temporary, right? We
Yes.
meditated for a while ago. We all know about this are impermanent and temporary. But why we are still with fetters, and why we still with attachments? The Chan
Mm.
had the same, right, Michael?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So why we had this still the attachment? So Channa was tired with that. He hearing those kind of things. I know very well, but why? And he was thinking, why I still have to attachment. Then he was thinking, okay, he heard Venerable Ananda. Now his Buddha passed away, okay, and the Ananda is living in the Shipatana. The Ananda. Venerable Anand is living in Disipatana, in Benares. Why
Mm.
I don't want to go to him and ask his advice and ask him to teach him something. Then Venerable the Channa set up his rooms and his lodgings, and he left to meet the Ananda to Isipatana. And then when he went to Ananda and met Ananda and to have a nice talk each other, exchange greetings, conversation, and after that then Channa said to Venerable Ananda, "Sir, I went to many monks to and asked them to teach me something, and they all said to me, forms are impermanent, feelings are impermanent, perceptions are impermanent, volitions are impermanent, consciousness is impermanent. And they said to me, forms are non-self, feelings are non-self, perceptions are, or memories are non-self, volitions or thoughts, the intentional thoughts, what the result can produce. Then all thoughts are impermanent, consciousness is impermanent, and non-self. This is what all monks said. But I know, sir, these are impermanent and non-self, but I still have the attachment. Then I came to ask you to teach me something I can realize the Dhamma. Then Ananda said, I'm very happy to see you, and I'm very happy with you about your humbleness because you came to see me and for advice. I'm very happy about that because before Channa was stubborn, pride, didn't care monks and didn't respect and ignore.
Mm.
Now you are very humble. Now you going to monk and you came to me. I'm very happy about your humbleness. And you are able to realize. You have a capability to realize Dhamma. When Ananda said that, the sutta says Channa had the huge rapture in his heart arose quickly because the Brahma Ananda, the Channa think about Anand. He's very famous. He's a Buddha's attendant, and he is respected by many monks, and he is the holding all the teaching of the Buddha. So and then he said, I personally trust you. In the sutta says, Channa said, Ananda, Sir Ananda, I personally trust you. I believe you. You are very respected monk in Buddha's disciples, very venerated, very famous, and you hold in many teaching of the Buddha, like a treasurer of the teaching. You are the treasurer of the teaching, and you are the personal attendant of the Buddha, was living with the Buddha close to him. So I believe you. And then Ananda said, yes, I'm happy about your humbleness, and you are capable to understand this Dhamma. When Ananda said, and his rapture arose in his, all his mind was filled with joy, happiness. So then when Ananda said, Chan, I heard once Buddha's teaching to the Kacchanagotta, the bhikkhu, Kacchanagotta, and Buddha taught Kacchanagotta, I heard from presence of the Buddha. What Buddha said to the Kacchanagotta. And Kacchanagotta is another monk came to Buddha. Then Ananda teaching, one of Buddha's teaching to other monks. And Anand, whenever Ananda going to teach that to Channa, you understand that? When Buddha was living, Kacchanagotta, as another monk, came to Buddha and asked, Samma Ditti, everybody says right view and right view. Bhante, what is the right view? That's what is the Channa, sorry, Kacchanagotta's question, presence of the Buddha. And Buddha said the teaching, a sutta called Kacchanagotta Sutta.
Mm.
Then the Anand, when Anand going to teach to Channa about that sutta. Understand? Okay, good. Okay, Channa, I heard in the presence of the Buddha, Buddha once taught Kachanagota. What's that teaching? You may pay close attention to understand this. Kachanagota monk bhikkhu came to Buddha and asked what is right view. Okay, then Buddha said to Kachanagota, Dve nisito kwayang kachana loko yebuyena. The most of this world, Kachana, or the Kachanagota, is a duality. They are in the one upside. There are two extreme sides. One is uh, exist, and another side is non-exist. This is the most world believe exist or non-exist. In the Buddha's time, the many of people in those days believe there are eternal entity or uh, exactly exist. Um, it is called atti in Pali and natti, have or have not, is or is not, am or am not, there is or there is not, atti and natti, exist or exist not exist. This is the duality. Whole world in the one of this side, right? Attitancha nattitancha. And then the Buddha says, Loka Loka nirodham ko kachane atabhutan sammapanya pasato. When someone see the arising of the world, when someone see the arising something, when someone really clear understand sammapanya pasato and they can understand with good knowledge and they have a right view, right vision about something arising, and they don't believe there are nothing. Because this is, we can see this is arising, this is exit. Whatever they see something arising, and they don't believe there are nothing, and they believe there exists something. The other side, and Buddha says, Loka nirodhanko yatabhutan sammapanya pastu natitan. When someone see the cessation of something, disappearing of something, and they don't believe whatever it is exists. There are nothing exists forever. Why not exist forever? Because they can see and they realize there are cessation of them, disappearing of them. Then they don't believe there are exist anything. This is the whole world. In the world is sides. Some people believe there are for eternal entity. They believe there are no anything eternal entity. Or there are or exist or not exist anymore. This is the whole world is holding and grasping and attached to, clinging to on one upside. Um, then Buddha's teaching to the Kachanagota, my Buddha's teaching is not my teaching is not belong to any of these one sides. Um, then Buddha said, I teach in the middle. I follow the middle path. My teaching stand on the middle, not on one side. Exist or non-exist. Because exist, whoever see exists and they can believe exist. Exactly, we can see, right? We can see every day the babies getting born, right? Trees arise. and we can see production, so many things arise. Then we can say there are nothing. Why not? This is here. We can see it. We can see that's arising and producing and happening, right? Existing. Then how can I say no? Then we can also see there are nothing disappearing, perishing. Then how can I say exist? No, there are no exist. There are perishing, disappearing. But Buddha said, I don't teach any of these extreme side. I teach from the middle. So then you should stand in the middle to realize the reality. Okay, let's see. um, Buddha said, Ete te ko kachana. Ubo ante anupagam majjena tathagato dhamman dese. Kachana, the Tathagata, the blessed one, the enlightened one don't stand any of these sides. And Buddha stand in the middle himself and he teach the Dhamma in his middle way, middle path. What is that? Uh, what is that? Um, oh, that is the one way of that middle path. This is the most popular way of middle path is the actually eight noble path, right? Middle path is the eight noble path. But here it's not a eight noble path. Here middle path is the a dependent origination, paticca samuppada. Majjena tathagato dhamman deseti. Buddha teach Dhamma in the middle. What is that? Avijja paccaya sankhara. Volitions exist because of the ignorance. And then Buddha's teaching. Volitions, thoughts, intentions arise because of ignorance or sankhara. Volitional formations arise. Sankhara, volitional formations arise because of the ignorance. What are the volitional formations? It's the thoughts produce karma. The whatever thoughts is produce the karma. Karma is called volitional formations. Also, having thoughts, volitions, and we act. We act. That action we do physically. All physical actions we do because we have the intention to do that. All the verbal actions we do because we have intention to do that. All mental actions we do because of their intention. That's called chetana or sankhara. That volitional uh, actions, physical, verbal, and mental, all these actions called sankhara. It has a result. This result, whatever give the results, this karma or sankhara, we do because of the ignorance. Then ignorance exists, then sankhara exists. When the sankhara exists, then sankhara paccaya vijnanam, then consciousness exists. Consciousness, that's the most uh, important thing to realize, right? Consciousness. We know consciousness arising, passing, arising and passing away, momentarily, momentarily. Why then we exist, life to life, life to life? Because consciousness going to life to life, life to life. Why consciousness exists? Because of the sankhara, volitional formations. What is the volitional formations? What is produced karma, right? Result. Then that sankhara give fuel, fuel to exist the consciousness, nutritions. Sankhara are the nutritions to consciousness, right? Food. The sankhara are the foods to the consciousness. Sankhara pacha vijnana. When the consciousness exists, then vijnana paccaya nama rupa. That consciousness produces the form, your form, the Dinu's form, Washington's form, Peter's form, my forms, and everybody's form produced by the consciousness. When consciousness exists and it's produced the form, not only form, nama and rupa, form and the all uh, names, nama rupa, right? What are the nama? Nama means the passa, vedana, sanya, chetana, manasikara. These are the names, feelings, uh, perceptions, and the volitions again, and the manasikara, uh, memorizing or thinking, and contact. Uh, and these are the names. These are when the consciousness exists, it produces all physical appearance and all feeling and perception, all other mental phenomena. When the name and form exist and it's produced Namarupapacha Salayatana. That name and form produce eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and this body and mind, right? And these six sense bases. What the six sense bases produce? When six bases exist, then we have a contact. When have eye, we have eye contact, right? I see. When we have ear, we have ear contact. Then we heard. We have a nose, then we smell. Thus, they have a contact. When we have a tongue, then we taste. That's a contact. We have a body, then we feel. Contact. We have a mind, then Dhamma is come into the mind. It's contact. That's why we cry and smile, happy, laughing. This all happen because we have a contact with mind. Then when we have a contact, what is next? We have a feeling. When you have a contact, we have feeling. We have a feeling. Feeling is okay. That's the most important part is the next one. When you have a feeling, what's the next? We have a craving. That's the problem. We have a craving for the feeling. That's the problem. That craving produces the grasping. That grasping produces the existence. Existence produces the reborn. Reborn produces the mass of stress. And then Buddha said, Kachana, this is the middle way. And not only this, Avidya yatveva asesa viraga nirodha sankara nirodho. When someone um let go the ignorance and have the right understanding and he get rid of all the way of the ignorance. Right? Ignorance is not a knowing. Ignorance is believing in wrong way, realizing in wrong way, accepting in wrong way, perception, all the concept, the wrong concept, wrong ideas, wrong views, wrong understanding, wrong beliefs. These are the ignorance. When someone completely, perfectly, without remain any less of that ignorance and dispel them and have the right understanding, then he not produce any volitions or karma. He not produce any karma, any volitions. When he not producing any volitions, any karma, there are no food to the consciousness. Without food to the consciousness, there are no any form. There are no, the consciousness not produce any type of form anywhere, heaven or in human realm or anywhere, or even not producing any vedana, feeling, sanya, perception, no volitions, no thinking. Then when there are no form, no names, there are no eyes, no ears, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind. When there are no sense bases, what we not have, there are no sense bases, no contact, no eyes, no contact, no ears, no contact, right? When you not contact, no feeling. Right? When we no have feeling, no craving, right? When we do not have craving, no grasping, no clinging. When you no have clinging, no existence. When you no have existence, no born. When you no have born, no stress, no mass of suffering. Hmm. Consciousness going to cease. Yeah, consciousness is going to cease. You like the fire, and Buddha simile, there's a fire burning. If you put some dry things into that fire, it keep burning. When you're not giving the food to the fire, fire going to cease. The consciousness is moving to life to life, and bring you mass of stress and whatever we experience, because the consciousness have a nutrition to move. Then we don't have ignorance anymore, no fuel or food to the consciousness. Then consciousness going to cease. Hmm? Yes, yeah, that's example for consciousness cease. When consciousness cease, no more consciousness. Then no more form, no more names. This is the cessation of all type of stress, all type of uh, suffering or pain or happiness we attach, whatever it is, because everything is impermanent, temporary, and disappearing. But this everything is arising and passing. Then why we exist? Because we clinging, we grasping, we craving, we attached. So that's the problem. Then the Buddha's teaching here to Kachana Gotta is a whole world is exist in the one side. Some people believe there are eternal entity uh, or soul that is never going to die and exist forever. Some people believe it, and some people believe there are no soul. This is the one and only life we have, and we die, we buried, and we remain, burn out. Nothing remain, anything, even the dust or the ashes is going to spread out. And some people believe that there are no nothing, anything exists. Um, and some people believe in this is a very actually that I said this is profound, one of profound teaching of the Buddha. Some people says and believe this whole world is a dream, then this is not exist anymore. This is a dream. This is not a real world. This is not really exist. This is a kind of dreaming. Um, because when we going to break in these all physical things, material things to small tiny parts, Nothing exists, anything. So some people say this is not exist anymore. Uh, some people say no, this is exist. That's what is the Buddha said. Whoever sees something arising and they don't believe nothing. And some people see the cessation and they don't believe exist. So this is the extreme sides people always grasp. And Buddha said, Sabbang atti tikachan aime kuantu. There is a one of extreme. There is not is another extreme. Extreme. And sabbang natti iti dutiyo antu. This what is exist people believe exist is a one extreme. Not exist if someone believe not exist this is another extreme. And Buddha said exist because of the reason. There are not exist because of the reason. And Buddha's teaching all about the hetum paticca sambhutang hetu bhanga nirujjati. The reasons, there are four reasons, then exist. There are no reason, no exist. And we have to find out what is the reason. There are reasons for everything, right? Hetum paticca sambhutang hetu bhanga nirujjati. There are reasons for something. The consciousness exists because of attachment to craving, right? There are not important exist or not exist. Most important things why, right? Why? This is a middle path. We have to find out the middle path, not only one extreme side. So then Buddha said, um, the whole world is happening everything and exists everything because of the reasons. Reason arise, result arise. Reason cease, result cease. That's what the Buddhist teaching called dependent origination, paticca middle path. So when the let me um, discuss. We're going to discuss about this. Just only this sutta. The another sutta is another Channa Sutta is the another monk who killed himself, and we're going to learn about that sutta next week. Okay, it's a very important sutta too. And just talk about this. What do you think about this, the things we discussed so far? Let's talk about. Anyone have any question to what we learned so far?
Yes. Kilaya.
Bante, what number sutta is this? It's not the Channa Sutta that Michael posted in the chat. What is the number?
There's the sutta we discussing now is the come from the Sangyutta Nikaya, connected discourses in the Sangyutta Salayatana Vagga, the teaching all about the six senses, sense bases, Salayatana Vagga. It's come from the Salayatana Sangyutta. And then Micah posted here is the sutta we're going to learn next week. It's come from the Sangyutta Nikaya too, but it is Khanda Sangyutta, the teaching all about the aggregates. It's the email was about the sutta we are discussing now. Uh,
Mm.
let me give you the number of the sutta. This is give me a second. This is the Sutta Sangyutta Nikaya 22 and 90, right? 22,
90?
22 and 22 9.
Not okay.
Yeah, 22 9.
See. Mm-hmm.
Uh, did you get it that?
Mm-hmm. I'm looking.
No, the
Link to
what's that?
you said
I just in
20.
the email. Okay. Any question? Any question? What do you think about that? The teaching about that? Fire
I
aggregate.
had a question.
Fire aggregate. Yeah.
Um, I was wondering about your comments about dreaming. I think you said that the wrong view that nothing exists is often described as everything is a dream. Um, but I'm confused because I don't know the sutta name, but at one point, I think I read that Buddha taught we should consider all the aggregates with clinging as like a dream. But this is not. Is this the same as saying it? The aggregates with clinging don't exist, or is that a separate way of thinking of them?
Um, I don't see Buddha have to see that aggregates a dream in any of sutta. Uh,
Okay, I can see look over my notes
okay, but I know Buddha has a simile like a dreams. It's not really uh, the Buddha have. I don't meet. You can tell me better. Then that's a wrong misconcept about Buddhist teaching. Some people have there are nothing, anything exists. That's another wrong view about Buddhist teachings. Buddha never said this is not exist. In the sutta, Buddha said that, right? I don't say that. I just keep the middle path. This is exist because of the reason. This is not exist. It's because of the reason. There are reasons to everything. Without reason, with reason exist. Without reason, not exist. Okay, for example, we exist.
so
Yeah, Kilaya, yes. Go ahead.
then I must have this wrong, like you said. I thought that there was a meditation that the Buddha recommend to consider the form aggregate with clinging like a foam, like a mass of foam, and then to consider the feeling aggregate like a bubble with
Yeah.
clinging,
Uh,
and then the sankharas with clinging like a dream,
hmm.
and then the consciousness with clinging like a magic trick. You know,
Yeah. I think this is the point some Buddhist people have a misunderstanding about Buddhist teaching. Okay, and Buddha said uh, the form as a bubble, right? That's a simile. Why it is said that? Bubble is very temporary, right? It's breaking quickly, right? The physical body is breaking quickly. When we break up, the body break up, then we die. The bubble, but the physical body is not exactly bubble, right? It's not a bubble. Bubble is something else. Body is something else. But Buddha said, uh, bubu lupama, rupam. This whole body like this. It's a simile. It's a simile. This physical body is like a bubble. It's breaking quickly. Okay, feeling. Feeling is similar to form. A foam means what's the water forms when we pour in the water is having a foam, right? What's that called? Shape. The little tiny bubbles, foams. Yes, the feelings is like that because the foams is quickly
foam,
arise. What's that? Foam.
foam, foam. We understand.
Spell that.
It's FOAM.
FOAM. A foam.
Yeah.
Okay, foam. Because that the when we pour in water, even like in the river, the foams arising and quickly disappearing. Bubble is the one big thing, like this whole body is bubble breaking quickly. The foam is also always breaking. The feeling is arising like a foams arising, whatever happy or suffering neutral feelings all arising and passing away, all arising passing away. That's the forms. The sanya perception is like it's like what's that sanya is like sanyupama uh, this the perception is similar to the I think what's that marichi mirage the deers are getting think there is a water in this mirage, right? This perception is something like a mirage, but it's not really exist. But we can see, but it's not really exist. Something like that. The perception, but the perception is not exactly mirage. Mirage is similar to the perception. The volitional formation is similar to the banana tree. That's Buddha simile. Banana tree, we can get the one by one the leaf. We can remove the leaf, right? The leaves of the banana. Then there are no what's that called? In the middle, there are no any hard parts. What's that called? Yeah,
Yeah, heartwood.
hardwood. There are no hardwood in the banana tree. The sankara, volitional formation
No.
is something like that. There are no any hard essential in this sankara. It's like a banana tree. We can remove so nothing. Then the sankara, it is not itself a banana tree, but it is a similar to that. The same thing, consciousness is like a magician. And Buddha said that vijnana is a consciousness is like a dream or something like a magic, right? Like a magic is we can see it is as it is, but it is not. It's kind of something else. For then I show you a cup. I but this then I make it disappear. But I hiding cup somewhere, but I say it is not, right? The consciousness, something like that, is show us. Then we consciousness show you as a person, but the reality is not as a person. Consciousness show you something is uh, permanent, but the reality it is not something permanent. It is impermanent. Yeah, yes. This the consciousness we have to understand is consciousness is something show you as a happiness, but the reality is not the happiness. But we experience happiness. That's something else. But this consciousness give you idea. It is joyful. It is happiness or something like that. Then we attach that happiness. The consciousness is like a magician and show you something, not reality exists. But the most important thing, Kaila, is conscious is not a dream or magic. It's not a magic. It's like a physical form is not a bubble, but it's similar to bubble. It's a simile. Consciousness similar to magic or magician or dream, but consciousness exists because of the craving and attachment. There are no craving, no attachment, then no consciousness is going to cease. Then we can say it is a dream or it is not exist. It is exist because of the reason. And Buddha said, what this in the pay attention very close attention and read carefully that Channa Sutta. It is people see something arise and also people see something cessation. Cease. Who see the arising and they don't believe cease. Who see the cease and they don't believe arising or existing. And Buddha's teaching are not in one side and in the middle. And Buddha said there are reasons, then they when you see reasons, then result. No reasons, no result. Consciousness exists because of craving and attachment and ignorance. There are no craving, no ignorance, no attachment, no consciousness exists. But until reason exists, result exists. Right, Kyla? Then Buddhist teaching is the stand in the middle. Yes, consciousness is one of five aggregates. Form, feeling. Today is yes, the all five. This sutta we learning today is not emphasize the Channa said all monks told me these five aggregates are impermanent non-self. But whenever Ananda's teaching, okay, I heard from the Buddha. Buddha once taught to Kachanagota, uh, stand in the middle, stays in the middle. Ignorance is the cause to uh, volitions. Volition is cause to consciousness. Consciousness cause to name and form. Name and form is cause to uh, sense basis. Sense basis is cause to contact. Contact cause to feeling. Feeling cause to craving. Craving cause to grasping. Grasping cause to existence. Existence cause to arising. Arising cause to all mass of stress, suffering. When ignorance dispelling is then no volitions, sankhara. To dispel, to remove, and to get rid of that ignorance, that's how we meditate. What is this sense basis? What are these sense bases? What's the reality of this sense basis? Impermanent, temporary, and non-self. That's the most important thing. Non-self. To find out and figure out, to realize that, we have to meditate on this vipassana, right? Then we understand it's impermanent, temporary, and non-self. There are no self. When the Ananda keep teaching this, and Buddha said to finally to the Kachana Sabbang Attiti, Kachana Ayamekwanto Sabban Attiti and Dutiyanto. Kachana, all are exist in one extreme, all are non-exist, non-exist is another extreme. But my teaching in the middle, there are reason, there no result. No reason, no result. Ignorance is the result to volitions. Volition is result to consciousness. Consciousness is result to name and form. Name and form result to sense basis. Sense basis are result to contact. Contact are result to feeling. Feeling is result to craving. Craving is result to grasping. Grasping is result to existence. Existence is result to reborn. Reborn is result to passing all mass of suffering. Then the most important thing is get rid of the ignorance. When we remove the ignorance, no volitions, sankhara, no consciousness, no consciousness, no name and form. So that's it's going so on like that. So let's meditate on to realize that. Okay, this is the teaching for today. For before we end up the session, do you have any last question? Then we finish the session. Okay, no more question. Then we will end the session. Okay, thank you for joining to the session today. And oh,
Thank you.
Yupin here, Yupin. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
Bante.
I'm going to please be patient enough to for 5 minutes. I'm going to especially giving blessing chant to Yupin for having a good health, and Yupin
Thank
and
you.
all of you. Okay, for all of you, have a good health, and physically and mentally you be healthy and be safe. May all dangers and go away, and you be safe. And
Thank you.
all illness and disease dispelled by the blessings of the Buddha, power the qualities of the Buddha, blessings of the Dhamma, by the power of the Dhamma, by the blessings of the Sangha, by the power of the qualities of the Sangha. By those all blessings and qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, dispel all your illness and disease and keep you happy, healthy, and peaceful. නමෝ තස්ස භගවතු වරහතු සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස්ස භගවතු වරහතු සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස්ස භගවතු වරහතු සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස ඉතිපිසෝ භගවාරහං සම්මා සම්බුද්ධෝ විද්‍යාචරණ සම්පන්නෝ සුගතෝ ලෝකවිදු අනුත්තරෝ පුරුෂ ධම්මසාරති සත්තා දේව මනුස්සානං බුද්ධෝ භගවාති සාක්ඛාතු භගවතා ධම්මෝ සන්දිට්ඨිකෝ අකාලිකෝ එහි පස්සිකෝ උපනයිකෝ පච්චත්තම් වේදිතබ්බෝ විඤ්ඤෝහීති සුපටිපන්නෝ භගවතෝ ශාවක සංඝෝ උජුපටිපන්නෝ භගවතෝ ශාවක සංඝෝ ඤායපටිපන්නෝ භගවතෝ ශාවක සංඝෝ සාමීචි පටිපන්නෝ භගවතෝ ශාවක සංඝෝ යදිදං චත්තාරි පුරුෂ යුගානි අට්ඨ පුරුෂ පුග්ගලා ඒස භගවතෝ ශාවක සංඝෝ ආහුනේයෝ පාහුනේයෝ දක්ඛිනේයෝ අංජලි කරණීයෝ අනුත්තරං පුඤ්ඤක්ඛෙත්තං ලෝකස්සාති එවං බුද්ධං සරන්තානං ධම්මං සංඝං ච භික්ඛවෝ භයං වාචං පිතත්තං වා ලෝමහංසෝ නහෙස්සති තී ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන සොත්තිතේ හෝතු සබ්බදා ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන සොත්තිතේ හෝතු සබ්බදා ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන සොත්තිතේ හෝතු සබ්බදා කරණීය මත්ත කුසලේන යන්තං සන්තම් පදං අபிසමෙච්ච සක්කෝ උජුච සූජුච සුවචෝ චස්ස මුදුවනති මානි සන්තුස්සකෝච සුබරෝච අප්පකිච්චෝච සල්ලෝක බුද්ධි සන්තින්ද්‍රියෝච නිපකෝච අප්පගබ්බෝ කුලේසු වනනුකිද්දෝ නචකුද්දං සමාචරේ කිංචයේන විඤ්ඤෝ පරේ උපවදෙය්‍යං සුඛිනෝ වාකේමිනෝ හොන්තු සබ්බේ සත්තා භවන්තු සුඛිතත්තා ඒකේචි පාන භූතත්ති තසාවාත්ථාවරාවා නවසේසාදී ගාවායේ මහන්තාවා මජ්ජමාරස්සකානුකතූලා දිට්ඨාවායේව අද්දිට්ඨා යේච දූරේ වසන්ති අවිදූරේ භූතාවා සම්භවේසීවා සබ්බේ සත්තා භවන්තු සුඛිතත්තා නපරෝ පරඤ්ඤ කුබ්බේත නාති මඤ්ඤේත කත්තචිනං කංචී භාරෝසනා පටික සංඥානාඤ්ඤ මඤ්ඤස්ස දුක්ඛ මිච්ඡේය මාතා යතානියම් පුත්තං ආයුසා ඒක පුත්ත මනුරක්කේ එවම්පි සබ්බ භූතේසු මාන සම්භාවයේ අපරිමාණං මෙත්තං ච සබ්බ ලෝකස්මින් මාන සම්භාවයේ අපරිමාණං උද්ධං අදෝච තිරියංච අසම්බාධං අවේරං අසපත්තං තිට්ඨං චරන්‍ය සින්නෝ වාසයානෝ වායාව තස්ස විගත මිද්දෝ ඒතං සතින් අදිත්තේය බ්‍රහ්මමේතං විහාරං ඉදමාහූ දිට්ඨිංච අනුපගම්ම සීලවා දස්සනේන සම්පන්නෝ කාමේසු විනය්‍යගේ ධං නහි ජාතු ගබ්බසෙය්‍යං පුනරේති තී ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන සොත්තිතේ හෝතු සබ්බදා ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන සොත්තිතේ හෝතු සබ්බදා ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන සොත්තිතේ හෝතු සබ්බදා යන්දුන් නිමිත්තං අවමංගලං ච යෝචාමනාපෝ සකුණස්ස සද්දෝ පාපග්ගහෝ දුස්සුපිනං අකන්තං බුද්ධානුභාවේන ධම්මානුභාවේන සංඝානුභාවේන විනාශමෙන්තු දුක්ඛප්පත්තාච නිදුක්ඛා භයප්පත්තාච නිබ්භයා සෝකප්පත්තාච නිස්සෝකා හොන්තු සබ්බේ පිපානිනෝ එත්තාවතාච අම්මේහි සම්බතම් පුඤ්ඤ සම්පදං සබ්බේ දේවා අනුමෝදන්තු සබ්බ සම්පත්ති සිද්ධියා දානං දදන්තු සද්ධාය සීලං රක්ඛන්තු සබ්බදා භාවනා බිරතා හුන්තු ගච්ඡන්තු දේවතා ගතා සබ්බේ බුද්ධා බලප්පත්තා පච්චේකානං ච අම්බලං අරහන්තානං ච තේජේන රක්ඛම් බන්දාමි සබ්බසෝ සබ්බේ බුද්ධා බලප්පත්තා පච්චේකානං ච යම්බලං අරහන්තානං ච තේජේන රක්ඛම් බන්දාමි සබ්බසෝ සබ්බේ බුද්ධා බලප්පත්තා පච්චේකානං ච යම්බලං අරහන්තානං ච තේජේන රක්ඛම් බන්දාමි සබ්බසෝ භවතු සබ්බ මංගලං රක්ඛන්තු සබ්බ දේවතා සබ්බ බුද්ධානුභාවේන සබ්බ ධම්මානුභාවේන සබ්බ සංඝානුභාවේන සදා සොත්ති භවන්තු තේ ආකාසට්ටා ච බුම්මට්ටා දේවානාගා මහිද්దికා පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිත්වා Chirang rakkantu sasanang, chirang rakkantu desanang, chirang rakkantu tang sada. Sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu.
Okay.
Sadhu.
Okay, we wish you a good health, happy health. All dangers go away and you be safe and be healthy. Okay, Yupi?
Sadhu,
Okay,
sadhu, sadhu.
okay.
Thank you,
Everybody
Bhante.
have a good evening and thank you so much and see you next week. Okay.
Sadhu, sadhu,
Thank
sadhu,
you.
Bhante. Thank you so very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vante. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Thank
Bye.
you. Hey.
Teruan Saranay Swamin Mansa.
Everyone saranay naman.
Teron saranay hamdro ne.
Everyone saranay apeno na. Everyone saranay.